been a while. Short video update on my food forest. Yeah, already we've got Thai dwarf mulberries starting to fruit. Today is August 9th, 23. I'm gonna do some changes to the food forest. This plum tree, I've just trimmed it back. Gonna be donated to my son Gerald's food forest. Interestingly enough, it's just starting to flower. So, I don't know. Might not be the right time. There's more flowers right there. I've just trimmed my Fakahatchee grass and some of my Mexican sunflower. That's known as the chop and drop method. It's a way to grow your own fertilizer. So you put the Mexican sunflower down first, then the Fakahatchee grass. And you do want to try and keep it away from the base of the plant where it was grafted. So you can see the graft is approximately in this area here. So you never want to bury that with soil or any chop and drop. I have to take out this blackberry that's just spreading all throughout here. I've got some self-seeded katuk. I had some katuk plants here years ago. Winter, cold, frost took it out. And now I have some more. This is a type of, I think it's ivy. I might be wrong, but all of that needs to come out. The vines are a little aggressive. They're up in my avocado tree. Speaking of which, this thing is loaded up. Look at these branches. They're just screaming for help. Look at the bend in this particular one right there, loaded up. However, I'm having a hard time getting these to ripen, but look at that. This thing's a rock star. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have another one here. So the plans are to take these out, donate them, put some olive trees here. Now, we've got some more Fakahatchee ready to be chopped and dropped. That tree I did put it around was a white peach. Where that plum is, I want to put another white peach. They're a small peach, but they're the best tasting I've ever had. My Greek oregano is buried here. The sweet potato patch is taken over. You could see the marigolds I planted and a zinnia back there. But in another 4 weeks or so, we'll pull up all these vines and see if we have any sweet potatoes. I just started to germinate some Florida pumpkin, also known as Seminole pumpkin seeds. They are germinating, so some will go here as well as my cantaloupe. The cantaloupe I grew here in the spring was spectacular. I've never had a cantaloupe that good, that fragrant. It was excellent. So I'm going to do it again. I did try to trellis them up in my greenhouse. I just don't think either the soil was right or it wasn't getting enough sun. So I'll continue here. And as I clean up in my food forest, I'm going to utilize the understory of my trees for things like sweet potato, Florida pumpkin. Welcome to the large greenhouse. And yes, my wife Stacy has started her fall decoration. All right, the bell peppers, they're thriving. Plants are stressing a little bit, but they're doing okay. Kale is hanging in there, still using it weekly in our soups. We still are getting new growth and fruit on our cherry tomatoes. And if you look way back there, that's it's a mess. Those are cherry tomatoes. They're flowering. They will come out when I do my bed flips for the first week of September. Marigolds, they've just taken over. I have a new tomato plant I started from seed. It's already starting to form flowers. Again, this is going to have to go. Same with these eggplants. They're flowering up. Not quite sure what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do with this Meyer lemon. Love it, but I don't know. I've got to trim it back and think about it. My fig trees that were from cuttings from my mother's tree. And just to give you an example, the cuttings were like a branch this thick. I put some root hormone down on the bottom, and I stuck it in a small seed tray. Once it rooted, I potted it up to a 1 gallon pot, 5 gallon pot. That's probably, I don't know, 12 maybe. This one, which was my smallest one, it ran a taproot through the weed block, and I just potted this one up. It was in this pot here, which is about a 6 gallon. Went up to a 25 gallon. Hopefully, with me losing that taproot, we're not going to lose the fig tree. I've been overwatering it. I'll do that for the rest of the week, and then I'll cut it back. Now, on August 4th, I believe, was the first seeds that I had planted. Let's see here. When was this? Yeah, August 4th. Cucumbers, different varieties. I have my Rosa Bianca eggplant. That's the purple and white one. Hands down my favorite, so they're all germinating. I have a Washington cherry tomato. They're doing great. Obviously, I'll have to come back and thin this out. These are the cantaloupe. Again, 8-4. These germinated in 3 days. This is the Florida pumpkin. A little bit slow, but I have 3 out of, maybe 24. And this is it's an Italian zucchini. Doing well. Next tray. Oh, well, I don't know that that's a fennel seed. It's supposed to be fennel in this area here. That looks more like a kale or Swiss chard, which both are doing well as the escarole. These are some more of a cherry tomato, some a little bit larger. I am getting something that is eating the tops off. This is a problem. So sometimes I cannot determine what I'm going to grow. It depends on what Mother Nature lets me do. I do have some determinate tomatoes. And what else do we have? Let's come around here. Okay, Genovese basil. These are a Carmen pepper. Nothing yet. I have I'm sorry, this is a pepperoncino. That's a hot little spicy. It's that one usually get the Italian red pepper flakes. Carmen sweet pepper, nothing. My spinach, nothing. Broccoli is it's doing spectacular. These are all beets in this tray, and they're doing really well. Pretty much, I don't know, 80% germination. I just have to watch some of these. If they weren't down deep enough, hopefully those roots will tap in. So that's what we're starting for seeds. I have more in the carport. One thing I have to say is adding marigolds, zinnias, different varieties of marigolds. You could see all the pollinators flying around here, but they're also, they really make your garden look beautiful. So I highly recommend that. Just a quick look down the sides here. Again, kale. It's doing okay. You can see the lower leaves. My understanding from what I heard is as they start to get maybe a little dehydrated, they're more susceptible to bugs. And, again, is that God's way of saying, I don't want an unhealthy plant? So let me sacrifice these and keep these healthy. So we're still getting kale enough for our salads. Eggplants are still doing well. You see back here, they're much smaller and they have a lot more seeds right now. I do have some fennel plants that they're starting to, I don't know if bolt's the correct word for them, but they're going to seed. And I might harvest those seeds and dry them to have some fennel seeds for seasoning our soups, things like that. There's a volunteer lettuce plant. You see we're getting new flowers on the eggplant, and this one looks like it's going to go to fruit, and a lot more here. And as we come around here, these were those determinate tomatoes. they're just about done. But the cherry tomatoes, I mean, this stuff is just, it's thriving, getting lots of new flowers and fruits. So here's the proof, right? It's still flowering, and as hot and humid as it is, a lot of times the heat and humidity will affect germination of those flowers. We're still getting fruit, even up here. I mean, we're all the way, well, over that way, we're completely at the top, which is just over 10 feet. So the results are remarkable. Look at the color of this. Let me get that in focus. I mean, if you just smell it, it's incredible, and the taste is even better. Okay, quickly going through the Birdie's raised garden bed. These are the sweet potatoes, if you all remember. I basically took a cutting of the vine, pulled some leaves back to expose the nodes, and I stuck them right in the soil. And they're thriving. I've had to trim these. In fact, yesterday I came through here and trimmed them because the vines would just work their way across my beautiful seashell pad. I just love this. Here's some more. Sweet potatoes, not doing well. They were self-started, so we're gonna leave them. The lettuce that I planted, that were from the lettuce seeds I harvested earlier in the year, they germinated, doing okay. Came in here yesterday. I mean, I went crazy trimming back the Black Beauty eggplant in here. Soon it's coming out. This small greenhouse is going to be exclusively Roma San Marzano type tomatoes. So all this has to come out. A little bit of lettuce left, not too bad on the top. Again, the sweet potatoes are choking it out. I did not plant any of these. I still have a couple of beets. Those are direct sowed from September of last year. That's a little bell pepper. There's one back over there. And I have a Black Beauty eggplant and the Rosa Bianco. Again, one of my favorites. That's one I started in September of last year. For me right now, the best eggplant, so that's my preference, even though the Black Beauties do well. Look at that sweet almond. If you guys could smell the aroma off this tree and the pollinators it brings around. I'm gonna have to trim that back. I started to, but it's up really high. Again, my Thai dwarf mulberries cranking. I've got 2 in pots over there. They'll be going to my son. I have some chives in that earth bag. That's a red Turk's cap. And rosemary, doing amazing. And when you touch it, remember what I always tell you, when you get the sticky fingers, that's what you want. All right, there it is. All right, we'll have a new one coming soon. Video, that is, as soon as I flip my beds, and hopefully I have seedlings to put right in there. Stay tuned.